we just looked at multiplication, and prior to that, addition and subtraction. So what's left? We're going to talk about dividing, right? So let's take a look at this one. Again, same idea. You're trying to get into that a plus bi form. So it also appears that there's an extra, not sure what. I don't think that's part of it, right? It's just 10 over 2 minus I. When the denominator has an imaginary part to it, and you're going to multiply, basically you can't have an imaginary number in the denominator and have it be considered simplified. What you're going to do is multiply by its conjugate. And that's kind of what I was talking about at the end of the example 3, where if you notice, what we're going to have to multiply it by is something that's going to get that imaginary term to cancel out. So notice how the terms are the same, 2 and 2, and then I and I. The only difference is one's subtraction, one's addition. So if 2 minus I is in the denominator, what you're going to do is multiply it by 2 plus I. And then what you do to the denominator, you do the numerator. So, then you multiply. In that denominator, the positive 2i and the negative 2i, they will cancel to 0. That negative I squared is going to turn into minus negative 1, which is plus 1. So again, those i's cancel and you're left with 5. Works out nice here because the 10 and the 5, you can divide a 5 away, and you're left with just 2 times 2 plus I, and you end up with 4 plus 2i. So at this point, give it a try on your own, pause it, and then come back and I'll explain it. All right, the first one, part A, I did in blue. The conjugate of 2 minus 6i is 2 plus 6i, so that's what you're going to multiply numerator and denominator. I left the numerator undistributed for the moment because I might be able to divide something, which we will. I FOILed the denominator. The 12i minus 12i will end up canceling out. Negative 36i squared will end up being plus 36, or positive 36. Plus 4 is that 40. 80 divided by 40 is 2, so I end up with just 2 times 2 plus 6i, which ends up being 4 plus 12i. For the second part B in purple, the conjugate of negative 1 plus 2i is negative 1 minus 2i. Notice how you only change that middle term, so that negative 1 stays negative 1. Got a FOIL numerator and denominator. Right, in the numerator, I end up with negative 10 minus 5i when I'm done simplifying. In the denominator, I end up with 5. Divide both by 5, and you get negative 2 minus I. All right. Let's take a look at example 5.